Hey, you guys, Coach Liz here. All right. This week, I'm excited about what we're going to talk about because we're really diving into the mindset. And that is such an important part of your health journey because there's lots of ways to lose some weight. But if you don't change the mindset, the mind and the body always have to match up. So if your body habits are in one place, but your mindset is left behind, your mind is very powerful and it will drag those habits back to what's comfortable. So we have to be working on the mindset. So I've got a treat for you this week. Element 4 in your life book. Make sure you read through it. Make sure you study it and learn because there's so many helpful tools in here that will help you make big progress in the mindset area. A couple things that Dr. Anderson talks about in this area is the dominant force in your life. And that's our goal for you in your health journey. He wants you to become the dominant force in your life. Now, what does that mean? It means taking responsibility. And one thing that I learned about the word responsibility is the ability to respond. Because we don't have control over a lot of things that may happen in our life. If someone brings donuts to the office, or your day gets busier than you expected, or a child throws a tantrum, whatever it is, traffic, there's many things that we don't have control over. But what you do have control over is your ability to respond, how you respond to that situation, because you are the dominant force in your life. When you are able to process, become conscious of those emotions and your actions. And so I love this element so much because Dr. Anderson dives into the drama triangle, helping us become conscious of how we react in different situations. Some of us tend to become victims where we feel like we're helpless. It's not our fault. We can't do anything about it. Or some of us are heroes that we feel like we have to be in control. We have to fix everything for everyone. Or some of us tend to be the villain where we always have to find blame for things that are happening. So it's good to recognize where you fall most often in your own habits, in your own mindset, and with other people. And so that you have the ability to shift and move above the line as you become conscious of those situations, you're able to become more conscious and responsible for those actions. So the last thing I want to cover about this element, there's so many great things in here. Make sure you hop into element 4 and read through. But Dr. Anderson talks about stop, challenge, and choose. It's one of those tools that he is known for because in any situation, we have a response, a stimulus, and we have a response. Now, the power lies in between. So the more space we can create between a stimulus and response, the more power we have. So the less likely we are to react. If we take a second and either take a deep breath, Dr. Anderson talks about how when he's in a meeting and someone says something that may be a stimulus that maybe, raises his blood pressure, or, first, before he responds, he stops and takes a drink of water. Just giving yourself that second to process that before you respond is very powerful. So he calls this stop, challenge, choose. So anytime you have a choice to make, there's a stimulus, something happens. Before you respond, create space. Take a deep breath, stop and challenge that. Now, often we stop and think, do I want the cookie? Yes. And then you have it. Like you say that you stopped and you challenged that, but no, I want you to take a second. So we call it a long pause. So think of coming to an intersection. And so instead of doing like a California roll, like your challenge is your stop and you roll right through and then you make the choice. No, I want you to stop. I want you to pull on your emergency brake. I want you to look left. I want you to get right, look right, maybe even get out of your car and look. Like take some time before you make a choice and then respond. So this might come up with your temper. Maybe you're short in traffic or when in situations with other people, but learning to stop, take a deep breath, and just become conscious before you respond is very powerful. Same thing with your habits. Recognize things that you are quick to respond. It might be in food situations at a party. Oh, it's there. You might fall into a food fallacy very quickly, like, oh, it's a special occasion. I have to have this. Or I'm at a party. I have to have this. Or someone brought treats to the office. I have to have it. So instead, stop, challenge that. Ask yourself, which direction do I want to go? Is this worth moving backwards? Or do I want to keep moving forward? Stop and ask yourself, am I going to be glad that I made this choice tomorrow? Or will I regret that? Stop and ask yourself a few questions before you make that choice. And then sometimes that choice might be to move backwards with your health goals. It might be a special occasion and you decide, that glass of wine or that piece of pie or whatever it is worth it to you. Once you've stopped and really made that decision, if the answer is yes, this is worth moving backwards, own that decision. Enjoy that dessert or enjoy that, whatever it is that you decided that was worth it. And then the biggest part that I want you to practice is that next step should be moving forward. Just because you made a step backwards doesn't mean you should keep moving backwards, digging yourself deeper and deeper into a hole. So that is a big part, is sometimes that might be a choice to move backwards, but the biggest thing is to steer away from that all or nothing. Yes, I made that choice. I moved backwards a step, but now I'm moving forward. But more often than not, when we stop and really challenge a choice and we stop and ask ourselves, where do I want to go with this? Someone brought donuts to the office. Is this donut really worth getting out of fat burn or moving, not having the scale move this week or having a stomach ache or craving sugar? Is this worth it? And the answer might be yes. But more often than not, when you stop and really think about it, the answer is no. I want to keep moving forward. I want to keep making progress. I'm going to go have a big glass of water and take a lap around the office and stay out of this, lunch room or whatever it is. So this is my assignment for you this week. Grab your life book, turn to element 4, look at that element. There's so many helpful mindset tools of learning to be the dominant force in your life, becoming conscious of how you react to things, and learning to just create space to stop, challenge, and choose when you have situations in your life to make a choice. All right, have a great week.